Welcome. We just ended the podcast. I think it's the first time we've just gone straight into an extra after a podcast. Normally it's some weird 30-minute break where we just talk about stupid shit till we build up the courage to hit the record button and go again. Today's different, though. Oh my god, you actually are... What is this website? He's just sending screenshots of the CAPTCHAs. What were you calling them? CAPTCHAs?
How do you say it? CAPTCHA?
I think it's CAPTCHA.
CAPTCHA?
Yeah.
CAPTCHA?
You're saying CAPTCHA?
CAPTCHA? CAPTCHA?
There's a word...
I do not pass the human test.
There's a word that I don't know how to
CAPTCHA?
say.
What in the hell is this?
Phishing warning. It's literally telling you that the website's a scam. On the, you should definitely use a burner computer or some sort of like safe, some sort of
Use
sandbox.
a VM.
Is
Yeah.
it legal to even be on this website?
Yeah, why not?
Dude, I almost became a multi-billion trillionaire by using Tor. Because
We should play Bust a Bit.
No,
No.
no.
Because I when I got into like trying to figure out what the darknet was, it was in like 2010. I went on it and I
Put your hood on when you talk about stuff like this.
I was trying to buy a hitman and some drugs. No, I wanted to get. I was just trying to figure out what it was.
Kill him. His name is Nigel. He
I
lives.
think I talked about this. I tried to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, but I was a student and I had negative money.
How about
I tried to
YouTube
buy
video where you try to hire an assassin to kill yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, but I couldn't. So
Surviving 24 hours with a hit on my head.
I almost got a lot of money from it.
Really? You were almost a Bitcoin millionaire?
No, because it's one of those things where it's like everyone in the past, they go, oh, I could have bought it or I did have it. And I'm like, dude, I was going to buy like $30 worth of Bitcoin. I think you get, I don't know what the time was, like 10 you get.
Yeah.
I don't know what the price was. You think so they're $3 each. You think I wouldn't have sold when they went up to $4 each?
Yeah, right.
I had no money. Like I would have been like, hell yeah, profit. Like I would have instantly gotten rid of them. I don't think there's a way to, you might not have been able to really, selling them wasn't as easy back then either.
I don't think any of it was easy back then.
Like you had to find somebody to buy it and then why, like it was not, like you didn't just, as far as I know, you didn't just have like a major, I think you could actually resell it to the people who you bought it from, but then they take a cut. I don't know. Speaking
of money, I have a question for you guys and for the Patreon viewers. All right, so let's say a sponsor came to me and they want to sponsor a video, but it's kind of like it's one of those sponsors, it's like a meme sponsor, right, where you're kind of like, oh, it's those guys, but they're offering they're like, like everybody knows what it is and you're just like, sell out. But they came to you and they said, we'll give you a lot of money.
It's like, you're a sellout. It's like, okay, hear me out. They offered me a lot of money.
Here's my question. Would people be more bothered by doing a sponsorship for a brand that's kind of like, ugh? Or would they be more bothered if I said no to them to a lot of money?
I don't think anyone would be bothered if you said no to money because it doesn't affect them.
I don't think anybody watches the sponsorships.
Okay. That makes me feel better.
I don't think they care, honestly. I think we're past the point of people caring about the sponsorship in the video. People just accept it now.
Even if it's like, let's say like a Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship, for example.
Everybody gets one,
So my biggest gripe with, a company that I shall not name, one of those companies.
Which one? Well, which I shall not name. We'll call them Raid.
Yeah, the Raid companies, which I don't know what that stands for. My biggest problem is just when you get the talking points, and it's like you have to sit there and be like pretending that you like something that you like, even if you partially like it. Like I don't like promoting anything that I don't genuinely use. I think I'm a little bit on the extreme example because it's like, even if I like it, I feel like that wouldn't be enough. Like I would never want to say anything that's not 100% true. And I find I don't mobile game. I don't do a lot of that. So it just makes it kind
what
of
are you
tough.
going to say that's not true? What do you
because I'm pretty sure they
You know
tell
what I'm
you to be
saying?
like,
Or-
this game is amazing. I play it all the time, and you're like, that's not true.
Yeah, but it's not like you're saying this cream will make your penis bigger. Like,
So that's
a flat
funny
out
because
lie.
that's the topic that I wanted to talk about.
My small penis.
No, the penis creams that they sell
Okay,
on
okay.
eBay.
Yes.
I feel like I have to get to the bottom of this.
Oh, the super
Wait,
African size?
turning penis cream into
Oh, dude.
ice cream.
There are some of them. The charts. They have charts,
Wait, whose screen is this? That's Nigel.
Kevin. But Kevin, they have
Kevin.
charts to show you like
Kevin's trying to buy drugs. He's actually trying to buy drugs.
drugs and chemicals.
It's not
Yeah, don't
about
let him
buying
keep
drugs.
going,
It's about
Nigel.
seeing if I can buy drugs.
I'm gonna try to find maybe one.
I just want to see what'll happen, I'm curious. Will they actually show up? I don't want them. I'm just curious.
What if you order something that's like not illicit?
Fraud?
That's a weird category.
Wait, there's something that said automotive related items?
Catalytic converters.
No, because these creams they have like. So this is the thing that I thought was interesting. They all have like some sort of steroid in it, which they claim will be an active drug to grow your penis. I guess. I don't think
Say
there's
that
any
again.
proof. But what's kind of interesting is if you look it up on Wikipedia, it says at the bottom that it actually is a what's it called? Potentially, these steroids are a capsaicin antagonist. So in theory, it might be anti-capsaicin.
Wait.
Oh.
So if you're willing to extract, if I could extract it and cover my mouth with
With penis cream.
penis cream. Well, it's probably not concentrated enough. You need to get the pure steroid. I don't know if you'll die. I don't know if that's safe, but it
Yeah,
could be.
if you can
could
put
be
it on your
it
penis,
could
you
be
could put it in your mouth.
anti-capsaicin.
I don't put anything on my penis that I couldn't also put in my mouth.
But no, it's
That's
just
my rule.
I just don't understand. Like I look at these things on eBay and they'll be like 400 sold, and you're like, who's buying this? The actual ad is horrifically bad,
People with small penises.
but also small
If-
brains.
If that cream worked, whoever invented it would be a billionaire.
Right.
Like if it
That's-
worked, it wouldn't be sold as these extremely weird products
Yeah.
from
What is this,
obscure
50
sellers.
milliliters of THC vodka? Jesus Christ. Pick your lane, bro. Wait, back to I need some confirmation. Okay, so let's say a sponsor. We'll call them
Oh yeah, we
let's
can-
just say their name is Shadow Legends. Let's say they came and they said, "We'll give you like 4 times as much money as a normal sponsorship."
hypothetically.
Boner pills,
Are they like knockoffs or it says Netherlands?
300 to 500 tabs.
All right.
Oh,
Fine,
it's
I'll
$1
just-
each. No.
I think I answered my question. I just need to do it. I just need
Just
to say
do it.
yes. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it.
Dude.
And I'm gonna wear, like,
pop
maybe a
one of these
cowboy
bad boys
outfit
and
during
run
the
into
talking
that
points.
video and just go through that sponsorship with a rager.
Yeah.
Look, I shared one of the images. I would say personally, I wouldn't, but that's
You
me.
wouldn't do it?
But that's also because I'm very like obsessive about what I do. So I think I'm very.
What if it's
abnormal.
actually a really good game? I've never played it.
I think that it's not a fully integrated sponsorship, right? It's just
you wanna
like,
play it?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just 30. It's like 60 seconds at the beginning of the video.
Could they, if
I
we
could
play
say-
it on this, could we get like a retroactive sponsorship?
What do you mean? Oh, like they take it back after they hear this
with drugs
conversation.
in the background.
All right, guys. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. More about that later. All right, so we're gonna buy drugs.
With this, how much can we get? How many drugs can we buy with a Raid sponsorship?
Stimulants. We need stimulants for
Wait,
this.
did you see the picture I shared in the Discord?
yeah,
just
that's
think
a
it's
classic
funny, like,
Wish ad.
I just like it. 1 to 4 weeks. Penis
You gotta
adjustment.
share this with the
4
chat.
to
You
8.
gotta share this
penis
with Patreon.
enlargement probationary period.
Describe it. Describe it for the people who can't see the image.
Wait, I just realized the x-axis is a ruler, and it only goes up to 5 centimeters.
No, that's 5 centimeters of growth. Wait,
Yeah, that's,
is that a lot?
Okay, okay. I like
Your
the
penis is on probation for the
consolidation
first few months.
phase.
I love the cross sections of like
Yeah.
it looks like autopsy penises. It looks like
Activate
just an
the development of the corpus cavernosum.
the first screenshot looks like a screenshot from Doom or something.
So there's like in this picture, this like square, like 1-1 kind of Wish style picture. There's a little, there's a bottle of cream. It's like a toothpaste bottle. It's or like what do you call them? What do you call that?
Like
a
squeeze,
Penis cream bottle.
whatever. Like
It's like black and white text or black and white color theme, and the image on it is like that classic like ape evolving into man series. It's like
they
four,
have
it's, like,
that too
hunched,
for this.
and then it like gets taller and taller, and then it's like a man walking, and the title is XXL Man Gel.
Man gel.
And the caption says, "Let men increase 3 to 5 centimeters. Need
I
only
found a
8 to
higher
12
quality
weeks."
one. I just like penis enlargement probation area. This one says doesn't say period. It says penriod.
If I cover my legs with it, will it make me taller?
Well, I just realized it doesn't say period. It says penriod. They're just
Okay, what
terrible.
do you find?
It's just a bigger photo than one I found.
God, those cross sections are horrible.
Oh, this one has a whole massage technique on how to do it.
Jesus.
I
I
think you're
think
just watching some guy.
I think it'd be fun to do like a Wish video where we like buy stuff on Wish, and then have it show up like weeks later. I think Cold Ones has done some stuff like that. I feel like that would be a blast.
What? Just. What did you? Sorry, I was looking at.
We go on Wish. We find we find the things that we laugh at, and then we like instead of laughing at them, we buy them.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not actually going to use the cream.
Well, I don't know. I just
Oh,
I don't
this
know.
one I love. There's
Totally not gonna use the
the
cream.
ones that I find like about the
Alan would do it. Alan would do anything.
Okay, just I don't even want to download all these photos. I'll just send you the link. The thing that gets me
Why
too
you
is
gotta
like,
share these with everybody? You can't
I'm-
just share them with us.
a
I'm
lot
just
of them-
ashamed to show everybody.
No, I'm sharing
Oh,
you
you're
the
gonna
ad 'cause
eBay link. I can
there are
actually
too
buy
many.
this right now.
There are too many photos.
All right, yeah, that
They're
one's
also
bad.
just like
Jesus Christ.
they're also racist. So literally this title is African size. Like they're obsessed with
African
like,
plus size penis faster enlargement for man dick.
so they photoshopped an actual pickle
yeah.
onto this guy.
So there's like this. No, you gotta describe. I'll describe the photo. It is a picture of like is that real? Is it a real like tribe? It sort of
It
looks like an
looks-
African
it-
tribe
the
member.
guy's
but it
way
looks like,
too ripped to be
yeah, it looks sort of like
a photo shoot or something.
yeah, like a photo shoot or a costume. But they've taken like cartoon drawn pickle and stuck it pointing upwards and elongated it up to almost his throat. So it like starts as his crotch and goes up to his throat.
Yeah, but you have to go down to the other photos. Do you see the "Please give us a chance" one?
Yeah, it does. Jeez.
And then the one next to it is the growth rate of the king. What?
This is horrible. There's like one of the photos is a woman eating a banana. And the text just says, "Get large penis."
So not afraid of contrast, dare to be different. Penis
There's
oil
12
for men.
different fonts. This one image has like 12 different fonts. Oh my god. Yeah, the "Please give us a chance" one is horrible.
It's
Look,
like
you see
an
the
MS
before?
Paint.
The before and after has like the exact same cross section too. It just shows like this is so bad.
But that's the thing.
God,
And look, 203 sold. It's just who buys these?
people with small pickles, I guess.
I think this one was one of the good ones. The scientific ones.
I can
are-
buy counterfeit stamps.
Really?
Yeah. Counterfeit
the-
money.
What is?
Wait, check this one, Will. These have some good photos. They're very scientific.
That is.
No,
that's
this one's sorry.
That's a
This is-
gooey duck.
no, this-
It's a penis enlargement.
Yeah, but this was like
thing
kills
on
me.
eBay.
Step 1, strengthening growth. 2, activating corpus cavernosum. 3, enhanced blood flow activity. 4, awaken consciousness.
I love the cross section. The cross section just looks like you're like a brain that's been hemorrhaging and like
know.
stroking out and expanded to the
It's
entire
a
like brain
schematic
cavity size.
penis. It says-
But do you see this? I can't even read this title. African plus size penis faster enlargement cream for man dick potency growth oil. The photo, the default photo for this listing is a gooey duck, which is like a really long, horrible clam thing that like lives in the sand. They literally have a clam that is notorious for looking like this just awful giant wiener, and that's their photo that they're using to sell. Why does eBay allow this stuff? This is horrible.
I just like that one, awaken consciousness.
Oh my god, the last picture too is just.
It's just there's something that's just straight up racist.
No, it's not even. It's just yeah. It's
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what this. Like they're actually their photo. I don't even know. I just. It just and then you look at it. You go, this ad sucks. 52 sold. What?
I mean, it's only $10. It could be the best $10 you've ever spent.
Yeah.
could be.
You know what? I bet 52 bottles go to one guy. Nobody else trusts it except for this one guy, and he
it
knows
works.
what's up.
He just it like if he stops applying it, it starts burning. So he just keep putting more and more on.
And just like it's just there has to be a good video to make out of this.
I think we should do that. I think we should do a video where we're on Wish and we have to like scroll through Wish and find things and then we buy them. I don't know how we like, because eventually we have to get this stuff and I feel like it's kind of got to be in the same video. Did you end up buying anything? Do you find anything?
Nothing good. They didn't have any rocket launchers
No,
or
it was
guns.
just
Really? No guns?
Yeah, I
What a
was
waste of
surprised.
time.
There's a market. I could probably sell some
drugs.
legal items.
Yeah, some completely legal items.
You know, I feel like it's my civic duty, and I've been wanting to do this for years, ever since weed was legalized in California. I really want to grow one plant. I want like one just shitty little weed plant that, like, all I do is like water it, because I know they're really high maintenance. Like, you got to do all the things. They like clip them, the yada yada. Like, I don't want to do any of that. I just want just one little plant, like a
How big can you
Tamagotchi.
grow it?
Well, I don't care. I just want it to stay alive. I want my little Tamagotchi weed plant in my backyard. That's what I want.
You
To
could
do
like
it.
decorate it for the holidays.
Yeah, Christmas
like a little
tree.
Charlie Brown
Yeah.
weed plant.
It's just this horrible. Like, you know what happens if you let it grow a long time? Does it turn into a tree? Does it get like, you know, like a little
Bark?
like a thick. Yeah, does it get
Could you
bark?
create a tree fort in it?
I don't know. That's only one way to find out.
Dude, I'm so
And
confused.
it's not Googling it.
This is completely separate, but I messaged a dude, or I messaged somebody on Alibaba because I want to buy a really high temperature furnace. So
Yeah.
all I said was, "Hello, what is the price of your model, like of this model? Thank you." He responds, "Dear, good morning. Thank you for your inquiry." He then shares he shares 5 unrelated videos on how to use the product.
Alibaba might actually be the worst platform online. Like, I would
It's just
rather
like, what
buy
are you
stuff
doing? And
on
he
this crappy drug website than having to go on Alibaba.
And now he just shared the manual. Why? I just want to know what it costs. Why are you sending me the manual? Of all like I've still yet. Oh, he shares
Hi, dear.
5
Hi,
videos
dear.
of demos and how it works, and then 2 manuals, and then just writes $544.
That's
People
it. That's
pay?
pretty cheap.
I'm just
Did we
saying,
make 5
he
videos
shares-
for $500?
Sorry? No, he just shared a bunch of videos of unrelated manuals, and then he just answers my question, which is just the price. I'm like, thank you. Why didn't you just say that?
How much does it cost?
$500, apparently.
Why can't they just?
I thought it was going to be like $20,000.
I was looking at another one that was like $4,000, but this one, it's like a small induction one. Because I need one that goes up to 1,600, which is like kind of tough. But I was like, $500, that's pretty cheap. If it breaks.
How
like,
big does the crucible have to be?
It's a 1 kilo gold crucible, so they're kind of small.
Oh, that's pretty big.
It's big
Right.
for gold, but like small for other things. But 1600C is hot.
Send it to me and I'll tell you if it's like legit or just some kind of crappy Chinesium.
Well, I will know if it works because I have to melt iron.
No, I mean I'll tell you like if it's a good one to buy or not. Because I
Oh,
look at that
I
stuff
thought you
all
meant
the
like
time.
send it to your house.
No.
The actual
That's what I thought,
physical
too.
item.
So give me a free.
No, send me the
furnace.
link.
Oh, it's pure Chinesium, Kevin. There's an eBay equivalent. I'll send you the eBay equivalent. It's pure Chinese. But it probably works for one video.
Well, this looks better than what I thought it was going to be.
The guy sent me a tutorial, like an instructional on how to water cool it. And I'm like, dude, I just want to know what it costs. I just like
yeah,
how
that's fine.
he sends all these, and then just his only response was just 544. There's nothing else in the message. It's just the number. Normally, my Alibaba experiences are good. That guy, I don't know what he's up to.
I've never had a good one.
Really?
No.
I've only.
It's
had
always
good.
like that. It takes like number one, it takes a month to order the item because it's like every time you can send a message, it takes them 24 hours to get back to you.
Except
to the time zone difference.
no, I've had.
And then it's like
I've had a
Nobody's
good.
there's
chat.
also like just send me the item, let me pay for it and send it to me. But then you have to fill out like customs forms and like shipping forms and like you have to arrange how it gets to the port, then how it gets from the port to a
Oh,
shipping.
I have a-
place.
I have a broker
guys
deal
have-
with that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
but why
like
do you have to have a broker? Like
because
why can't you
do you know
just
how shipping works?
It doesn't.
It's really bad. I didn't realize how it works. So a boat is a boat, and a container is a container.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's different. You have to get
a space in the container.
Boat
space in the
takes
container somehow.
Container take item.
yeah.
So you have to do that yourself. You have to
Yeah.
find a container.
That you can
And then
put
you
your
have to put the
product
container in the item. Then someone else puts the container on the ship. And then when it gets there, it's your item and it's just there. And then you have to get it.
No, there's
like-
another company that takes the container and they open up the container and they split it up and then they take that item to give it to another company who delivers it to you.
Yes. So when you're shipping stuff via like DHL and stuff or whoever, like
They do
they're
everything in
handling
one.
all
Yeah.
this logistics for you. And if you're doing container stuff, you're not screwed, but it's way more complicated because they're simply just putting it in a thing, and the thing goes on the boat, and then the thing goes to the port, and then you're like, all right, got to pick my thing up, and it's like, nope, it's coming into the country now. You got to do all this stuff, and so it's like a total. It's like you don't really realize how complicated shipping actually is until you try to do something big like that.
Yeah, and like the one big problem, I was lucky to get a broker because I've ordered some things. If I can, I usually just FedEx it, even if it's expensive. But some things I can't. Like they're just big, so you can't. Like was it your arc welder, Kevin, or something that you bought?
Yeah.
Like, it's like some things when they get heavy enough, you put it by boat.
Yeah, like on a pallet.
Yeah, but
It would have cost like $2,500 to ship by air.
Yeah, so you're just kind of like, But they, usually the company arranges the shipping on the boat. But like the complicated thing is when it lands, let's say like in the port of Canada, you need to have proof that it's like yours to take, right? So I
Yeah.
at least before the pandemic, I feel like things changed for a little while. I remember I was so confused because it's like when you buy something from China, they have to overnight FedEx you the papers to prove like the bill of lading and the certificate of origin and like a bunch of other stuff. They can't even be copies. Like you have to have the original stamped thing to prove you own the item before the item gets to your port, so that you have to then clear it through customs. Otherwise, when it lands in the port, it will just go into storage unless someone else can take it who is like able to store it without putting it through customs. That's what a lot of brokers do. Like they'll hold it in like it hasn't passed customs yet, and they just keep it in storage.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that, then like I think the dock has something, and then you get charged like some absorbent amount of money per day.
Could you buy like a shipping container that's been abandoned?
They sell them.
Yeah, I think so.
It's cheaper to make new ones. Yeah.
No. I mean like something that like unclaimed luggage.
Like a storage unit.
Oh,
Yeah.
but I don't think a lot of people don't own the entire shipping container, right?
Well,
Like,
I
I mean,
guess,
it
so if
used-
you shipped something
You just have
and never claimed the container, if someone never claimed the container,
Yeah, like that huge, like, that sounds really complicated. So I bet that there's a lot of stuff that gets kind of like lost or forgotten about. Or
I think it doesn't though. Well,
how to buy abandoned shipping
Yeah,
containers.
it definitely. I was gonna say it definitely does, but I think the problem is like with the shipping container, it's like I only took up like a square meter or a cubic meter because of the pallet. So it's like you'd have to. It's only like large companies that have the entire shipping container full. That would happen with.
Yeah.
But then it's like, would they really just let things disappear?
So here's one. It says
Have you
they
ever seen this-
found. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
These guys buy, it's a YouTube video from 2018. These guys buy a shipping container for $35, $335.
I mean, that's
and find
really
a treasure
cheap.
trove inside worth thousands. Oh god, it's like a stupid YouTube video. This doesn't look like an actual. This looks like a storage unit shipping container. I feel like you have to be able to.
Have you ever seen those listings on Amazon on eBay for like Amazon returns?
Yeah, the boxes.
Yeah, and it's like mystery box of Amazon returns. It's only $100.
On eBay, it's probably somebody who's done the high level thing where they bought the entire order and then they're like trying to repackage it. But
No,
you can just get the whole crate from Amazon. We should do that. Like if we do,
Yeah, you can. You can just get the whole crate from
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like the situation with the guys on eBay who get these crates from Amazon, then they break it down, put it into boxes, and sell it. Do you really think that you're going to get some like mystery, like an Xbox 360 for $100?
Hell
No,
yeah.
they're going to take out the good stuff. That's like if a shipping container is for sale because nobody claimed it or something like that. You think you're ever going to get your money's worth out of it? I don't think so.
life pro tip. No, shipping container you might. As long as it's sealed. Right?
Yeah, but how do you know? They could just peek inside.
There's probably some sort of thing. So, life pro tip. If you're buying stuff on eBay, like, let's say Magic the Gathering cards, and you look at the listings, any listing that gives you vibes that someone knows what they're doing, the cards you're going to get are not going to be the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
What you want to find is listings of cards where the picture was taken on like the carpet of the floor and it looks like crap, or like
Yeah.
it's like a picture in a closet where it's like selling deceased son's Magic collection, because then you're getting the whole collection. You want to buy someone's collection, everything else is like parted out and they've been like, you know, like 10,000 cards, you know, like guaranteed this, like they're not putting the good shit in there. And that's what
Yep.
they're doing on eBay. Like, they're trying to sort of hype up the idea that it's an Amazon. Your camera's gone on the fritz right now, Kevin.
Kevin.
What?
Like, your camera's black. but it
Oh,
was-
my camera died.
oh.
It's okay.
Why don't you get the cable?
It's plugged in.
Then how'd it die?
I don't know. I'll plug it
Feels
back
like-
in.
Just the power went out. Kevin's house is just dark.
I know, and Jimmy's
It'd be
gonna
funny
take
if mine
you
went
out.
out too, and then it was just Nigel by himself on camera.
No,
but you could hear
Jimmy,
Kevin and
Jimmy.
I.
He's gonna block your camera.
Yeah, for like the 11th time.
There's literally
You're
the
gonna go
charging
dark,
icon
too.
up in the corner.
God, I got like 5 hours of sleep last night.
It says it's plugged in, so I don't know.
It's
You're
on
back.
now.
I know, but I didn't do anything. I just turned it off and on again. So
All right, so that's the life pro tip. If you're buying stuff like that on eBay, you got to make sure you're buying it at the source, not buying someone who's trying to make money.
if anybody ever says mystery box, they're lying to you.
They're lying to you. If it's Amazon and they're saying we got to get rid of this crap because we don't want to put it back into the warehouse, then buy it. I mean, don't buy it still because it's gonna be crap. But
We should do that though. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
who
I
knows
wanna-
what we'd get.
oh, I think that'd be amazing. Imagine just like this box shows up and it's like we just get to dig through it and find all the weird crap.
Yeah, it's like one of those 4 foot by 4 foot giant cardboard containers,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like on a pallet.
Like a pallet is like a
yes.
big box.
I think it's fun as an idea, but then when you're stuck with like all this stuff that isn't so bad, you feel okay throwing it out. You're kind of just cursed.
No, this
then we
could
give
be
it
a
away.
Patreon. This is a Patreon
Yeah.
extra.
Oh my god!
give
Now
our
that you have to
garbage.
give it away,
You
that's
guys
like-
buy us garbage and we'll give it back to you. We'll just mail it to you. We have your address. We don't want it.
What if we do like an auction where you get points or something? Everyone gets points on the Discord, and we do like a live stream, and they have to bid their points on items.
Oh, that's good. I like that. Maybe based on like how many messages they've sent in the Discord.
They're just gonna spam a bunch of messages. The Discord's gonna get real active real quick. Your camera died again.
it's okay.
Damn it. Battery exhaust. I've got more batteries.
I don't understand. Do you not have the dummy cable?
I do. I mean, my camera charges USB-C, so I can just plug it in.
Yeah, but is that fast enough to run the camera?
I mean, I've never had a problem before, but now I am.
Is
So
it hot?
the answer is no.
No. Yeah, I like that. I want to do. So I have somebody working on a video an editor who's I think he's going to be good. Like I think he's going to be really good. I think he would do a really, really, really good job with the like in-person stuff like we did in Japan. I think that he is good at taking sort of like, I don't want to say awkward, but like, you know, it's like a situation, like setting up a scenario where people are doing things and then cutting it together to make like a much more like kind of entertaining experience. I feel like he would be really good, I think, for stuff like this where we're, you know, just sort of doing something that has like there's a premise, there's like you know, there's a thing we're doing, it kind of makes sense, like you're exploring what's inside the box. I want to do more stuff like this. It's just fun too. Like I feel like it's fun to set stuff up and just like, you know, tell me you don't like the idea of buying an Amazon box.
Well, yeah.
Like
It sounds fun.
I also like we all know the consequence also is you're gonna end up with a bunch of crap.
A lot of crap.
So it's like
Sean can
okay,
do it at Kevin's house.
yeah.
No, I already got all your power tool crap.
Yes. Yeah, did you give it to Steven, the circular
did.
saw?
Yeah.
He has it permanently now?
Yep.
Nice.
He used it to fix his house after the hurricane.
You know, you
gave him
could
the angle
throw that
grinders.
crap away.
I couldn't just throw it away. No, I felt bad about that.
See, that's the trap. Kevin's been
I feel the same
trapped.
way. Dude, every time I throw something away, I need it like a week later. I'm like, oh, I could have used that.
I know.
You got to
And then
learn
it's
to
like-
be.
And then every time I don't throw something away
never
and I
need
get
it.
to use it, oh, it's so good.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that.
It
Those
justifies
sugar
hoarding.
endorphins. Give me
Yes.
that hoarding endorphins.
So glad I kept that empty tin of jam.
Well, I've had that a few. Like my favorite one was when I was buying I think I was buying a fume hood for when I was moving into one of my first labs. This guy had a bunch of random lab crap, and he's like, "Do you want to
Yeah.
buy this?" And I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh, I've talked about this. It's a hydrogen generator." I look it up. It's worth like $5,000 or $10,000. I'm like, "How much?" He's like, "Oh, like $200." And I was like, I'm like, "Does it work?" He goes, "I don't know. I haven't tested it." So I was like, "Okay, I'll probably test it at some point." So I bought it, and I don't even know if I test. I think I vaguely tested it, not really.
Yeah.
And I literally brought it to when I moved to the next lab, and then I brought it when I moved again, and it was just sitting in my lab. But then, when I actually got to using it, and I realized that buying hydrogen is a nightmare. I bought one little like lecture bottle of hydrogen that
and
we
they
talked
ask you
about
1,000
that
questions.
fills like six. It fills 6 balloons, and it costs like $300. Dude, this other thing, you just flip it on in the corner, and it fills a balloon in like 15 minutes.
Was it like chemical grade, like super pure?
Yeah, it's like super pure hydrogen, and then
No, but the $300 one.
it's probably what I make is the same.
Hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
like you flip it on, you come back, you have a full balloon of hydrogen, and it probably costs like, I don't know, like 25 cents. And I was like, this is the greatest purchase I've ever made.
You should just run it and have like one of those like oil field burners where they're burning off the extra natural gas
Yeah,
that's not worth
just-
keeping. You
Oh,
just
yeah.
Run it, perpetual flame in the background.
That's kind of cool.
I don't know if it produces it that quickly.
Well, you just need a really tiny nozzle.
But
Yeah.
dude, producing, I can just have hydrogen balloons now. Don't you understand?
I do. What happens to the oxygen?
It goes into the air, I guess. It just like.
So the rooms are like hyper oxygenated.
Well, I mean, I'm only making like a balloon at a time. It probably increases the oxygen from 20.1% to 20.000001%.
Yeah, but that's
1%.
You feel like less cloudy and
Yeah,
like, more awake.
I definitely, it wakes me up for sure. For sure, absolutely.
Remember we bought the oxygen canister at the karaoke
Oh,
bar?
that's a ripoff.
have.
That was dog crap.
Wait, no.
Dog water.
We were
You
all
don't
like
have
trying to
anything.
take
talking
hits of
about?
it. Like, give me some of that.
Yeah, it was like it's just air. His expensive
Kevin.
air is what it was. Yeah, Kevin huffing the oxygen at the karaoke bar in Tokyo.
Wait, look at you
I
guys.
needed it. I needed it more than you guys. Trust me.
No,
It wasn't that
wait,
expensive. I don't even remember what we paid for it.
Alan's,
A couple
Alan's
bucks.
hitting it with you guys.
Actually,
Yeah.
no. Alan needed it more. I remember
Yeah.
now. Alan needed it more.
All right, we gotta buy an Amazon thing. Are there different categories? Well, not right now,
Hold
but are
on.
there
Let me
different?
show you this.
Oh no.
It's an igniter, a wireless igniter I made for my rocket, so I don't have to be near it. I
Click
press
it.
the button.
That's great.
Oh shit! My gaming mat.
Oh no,
it
it
smells so
ignited.
bad. Wow. Anyway,
Why am I not? Why did you burn it so long?
well, it's supposed to light a fuse.
It only needs to turn on for like a quarter second,
Well, I wanted to show you it like melting.
And now you ruined your
It-
gaming map.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it would be
How
funny
deep
if
in
I
the gaming mat did it
connected a
go?
phone to it, so I had to like call it.
An
it was
IED.
like an IED, but I don't think YouTube would like that.
How deep is it in the gaming mat?
Huh?
How deep
Oh,
did it
you
sink
wanna
into the
see?
gaming mat? Yeah.
Do you want to see? I just had to pick it out with my screwdriver.
Oh god, that really does look like some.
You can just buy like these wireless receivers
Yeah.
on.
I have a
mean,
bunch.
You can.
What? Show us the gaming mat. I want to see how deep in that wire is.
I picked it out, but yeah, it's messed up.
Well, that gaming mat looks like it's seen better days, anyways. Oh yeah, that's good. That's the stuff right there. Just
No.
It's gone. It's ruined, man. And then there was one there too.
You're gonna be gaming, and every time you cross over a hole, the mouse
yeah,
is gonna like
it's
stutter.
gonna-
Like, tick, 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 tick.
there.
What a tragedy.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to the list of ideas on the Discord server. Buy Amazon.
Oh, I had an idea that I think you could use because you have the prerequisite.
Who, me or Kevin?
You.
What?
People, you get the patrons. You can probably do it for a real, like a full video. It's like I think it would be funny if people send you things and you have an X-ray machine and you have to like guess what's in the box.
That'd be a good patron. I
Yeah.
think that'd be a funny video.
So you just have like ghetto X-rays and you're just like, But then like people would obviously try to send you stuff that would be hard to guess.
Right.
It just looks exactly like a pipe bomb. You're like, huh?
I almost bought like what do you call it? Conveyor X-ray machine.
I think is that what it's called? No.
I think the ones that they like a small one for not like the airport size.
Oh
ones,
yeah, yeah. You should have
but
got.
It was,
That's a video. You buy that, you have a video.
I don't have any space though. I just like I didn't know if it was gonna work. Like I think it was gonna work. Came out of some like governor's mansion on the East Coast, and it was gonna cost way too much money to ship it. It was gonna be probably a couple $1,000s to ship it across the country, and
Yeah.
it's just like it's just like big. It's like a big box that maybe in the future. Oh yeah, should we go through the Patreon extra ideas? See what people like. Okay, here are our ideas for extras on Patreon. Dressing like men from the 80s. So I guess we have to like make outfits. Balancing 6 nails without letting them touch the wood.
I don't understand what like.
It's like, so you get
Semen
a piece of wood with a
collector.
nail pounded, a single nail pounded, like the tip pounded in, so it's like sticking up out of the wood. Then you get 6 nails, and you have to like balance them on that nail without them touching the wood that is supporting them. Like a little balancing puzzle. Oh, there's the
You have to
extracting.
do it the real way, though.
Yeah. Dubbing anime. Man, Alan wants to do that. Alan said he would set that up. Oh, trying to draw the continental United States from memory.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like that one a lot. All this has got to be like in person though. It's so hard to do this remotely.
I know.
We could try. You have to use like Discord, and you have to do like screen recording at that point too. I mean, we could try doing
The
it.
technology exists.
Maybe we. You know what? All right, next time we should try the United States map next time.
I mean, I'm at
On
the
Riverside.
most disadvantage, or the biggest disadvantage.
That'll make it even better.
No, here's what I want to say though. What is Elon Musk doing?
Dude, I don't
Maybe,
know.
I don't know.
Why doesn't he ever just shut up?
I've wondered
Like,
that for a
honestly,
while now.
This is what happens when you live in an echo chamber. You're constantly getting validated. Everything you say is like gospel. You kind of, I think, lose track of reality, and you lose track of like real feedback. And I think that he is just no isn't an answer. Shut up isn't an answer.
I know.
Like, I it's just weird. It feels like a kid. It kind of feels like the episode of Futurama with like the god who's like a kid and he's like playing with them.
And yeah, man, I don't know. It's kind of crazy to see him like going on and on about this stuff.
Yeah,
Also,
like he's a smart guy, you know. Like it makes me it bothers me a lot. Like I see some threads on Reddit sometimes where people are like he's
yeah,
not
like I
even an
defend him
engineer.
a lot. You know,
Yeah, he gets way more shit than he should for some stuff.
But he
does.
also
Like-
definitely does stuff that is questionable.
Yeah, no, he does, but that's what that's what frustrates me is it's like
Yeah.
give him shit for the stuff he
Yeah.
deserves shit for. Don't give him shit for stuff like where people are like he's not even an engineer. Like he didn't invent the car. Other people invented the car. And it's like, do you know what
let's say
inventing a car
Oh, his parents had an
means?
emerald mine. Yeah, I could give you $1 million, $2
Right.
million bucks, and you're just gonna. Good
Right,
luck.
you still have to like do
No, but
something with the money productive. But like
my response to that is, you were born in America, or North America, or any first world nation. Nothing you achieve is remarkable now because you are better off than
Yeah.
people who are born in a
Right.
third world nation. So you should never be
Exactly.
proud of anything you do because it was given to
Yeah.
you.
Don't worry, I'm not.
It's just,
yeah,
but
I'm never.
It's just like, at what level do you be like, you don't deserve any praise or anything because it was handed
Yeah.
to you.
It drives me insane when you see like entire threads talking about how he's not a real engineer. He doesn't have an engineering degree, and I'm like, have you like go to a college and pull out someone who's like just about to graduate with an engineering degree and tell me they're an engineer?
Yeah.
Like the students coming out of school as engineers are for the most part idiots and don't know how to do anything. Like you learn how to do
Yeah.
everything
By doing
at your
stuff,
job.
yeah.
Like right. And so like there's exceptions of like people who do their own stuff and yada yada, but like you end up with a lot of people who don't know jack squat, just some basic mathematical foundations of engineering and some principles, but no like tangible like manufacturing or building experience. And it's like you'll be machining parts that have cavities inside that you sent to your machine shop, and it's like I need this this cube of aluminum with a sphere hollowed out on the inside, but no access points to get to the sphere on the inside, kind of shit. Where you're like, you can't
Oh,
machine
yeah.
that. It's impossible. You can 3D print it maybe, but it's like dismissing his ability to engineer stuff because he didn't go to school is like such a shitty thing to
But
do.
it's also, I find, in the same sense, it's, for example, if you took a guy, like even the best, let's
Yeah.
say a great engineer, and you tell him,
Yeah.
build this novel thing, like something as complicated as an electric car, he can't. He literally cannot.
No.
So it's like the
It's too
only
far.
way something like that comes together is by
Yeah.
somebody who's able to collect people like that,
Yep.
organize
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
that is a skill, and he has to know enough
Yeah.
about people management and all that
It's-
stuff, and enough about the engineering to guide the whole project.
That is
But-
harder
Oh,
than
yeah.
engineering. And I think like it pisses me off that people don't understand it. Like organizing a team of engineers to engineer something bigger than what a single engineer can
Yeah.
engineer is harder than engineering.
Yeah.
Honestly.
right?
Yeah.
Like getting people to work together to accomplish a larger task that not one person really has like a super
Yeah.
good grasp on is really hard. And
lot
like
of
some of the
people do it.
smartest
And not a lot of people are good at
No,
it.
nobody can do it. Nobody
No.
can do it. Very few people, and that's why Elon Musk is Elon Musk, and the people complaining about this are on Reddit writing threads. You think Elon's writing threads on Reddit? No, he's
Honestly,
not gonna do
maybe.
that. Maybe. No, he uses his time on Twitter, but
Yeah,
he never really
exactly. He writes
he like kind of
Twitter
sparsely
threads.
interacts unless he's got his alt. But like some of the best engineers I know, they're not degreed engineers. They just have years, like decades of experience doing stuff. And they've like learned to do what most engineers do to design things. And if it needs to get analyzed,
Yeah, you just send it to
like
somebody.
real engineering. You
Yeah.
give it to the guy who's good at that. Because like I don't like the guy who's good at analyzing is maybe not really good at synthesizing. And so it's like, well, we need
Yeah,
a
like
mechanism
what-
to do
at
this,
what
this,
point
this.
Do you become a real engineer? Is it like because
Never.
you can do the math problems? Like, is that
Right.
what makes you an engineer?
Well, it's.
Exactly.
I mean,
Like,
So are you an engineer, Will? Can you still do that like calculus that you had to learn? And
yeah,
college?
I'm an engineer, but like I don't think I would. Like
mean,
I don't
would
want
you
to say
pass-
wouldn't do well in a. What do you mean?
would you pass the internet's like test of a real engineer? Like if you
I mean, I was looking at a couple of the comments on the last podcast, and I think there was one where someone was talking about it's funny watching people talk about CAD who are just learning about CAD, And like those are the kinds of comments that piss me off the most, because it's like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? Like,
I mean,
like just
I
learning about
am.
CAD. It's like, yeah, but it kind of like the way it was worded made it feel like it was like targeted at everybody. Like we're all novices at CAD. And it's just sort of like a very like weird mentality to have of being like, I'm an expert at this thing, because like nobody's really an expert at it. Like knowing how to use CAD is meaningless if you don't know how to like make
No,
stuff
that's
in the
that's
CAD.
what I'm trying to say is like the internet's idealized version of an engineer doesn't really exist.
No,
You
it
know,
doesn't.
And even real engineers won't even
Yeah.
like can't
Like
even fit into
popular
that mold.
science, you know, pop culture science portrays engineers as like this like mad scientist, you know, like movies and show off all this garbage, which is like they build the machine, they write the software, they do this, and it's like that. It just doesn't exist. I mean, you know, you got like stuff made here is probably the closest you can get to like that like all encompassing engineer. And like what he built this puzzle solving machine that can just solve like a 9x9 puzzle, and it took him like months to build it. It's like
Yeah.
that is like that's peak engineering. That's like I don't know if it's a 10x or, you know, like I'm sure he's very, very productive. He's more productive than me, but like he still is like banging his head into the wall the whole time. Like you're not going to find someone who can just do that. And it really pisses me off that people perceive it as such. It's like,
That's
oh,
why it's good that he shows a lot of his failures too.
yeah, like I laugh at the idea that, oh, Elon Musk didn't invent the car. It's like, do you have any idea what that even means? Like invention is like coming up with a novel concept. You don't invent a car. You design and build a
but
car.
Will,
like
nothing you ever do is really your achievement, because all the math and all of everything you use was invented by somebody else. So by
yeah,
extent,
anyone who's a programmer, you're dog water at programming, because you're just using libraries and compilers.
but by extension,
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're not putting a multimeter into your memory to flip bits by hand, you're a freaking degenerate.
yeah, I agree. But the same thing happens in, honestly, like I not anymore, but it's like I remember some comments I got very early on. I remember just being like, it's just odd because this guy was serious. He was like, you cannot do chemistry outside of industry or academic labs. He's like, it's not real chemistry unless it's done like in whatever industry or academia. And I'm like, why is the building I'm in less real than the building if I just go somewhere
Where
else?
was this on Reddit? You said
No, this was just like a random YouTube comment. I don't remember where I read it, but it's just like it's clearly somebody in. People have these weird views that like in order for it to be real, it must have these like arbitrary things. So it's kind of like if you literally did your engineering degree to the last exam, you studied for it and something happened and you missed it, and because that you couldn't technically get your degree, but you straight up know your grades were great, you knew everything, you were top of your class, you just for whatever reason, mental health reasons, you didn't actually get your degree. People would be like, "Oh, you're not a real engineer because you didn't get like, you know, the paper certifying you."
Yeah.
And you're like, "But
Yeah.
I know more than most other
People who
people
say
in
shit
the
like
same
that
program."
Are losers, because it's like the ultimate gatekeeping.
Oh, it
It's
is
like the only
completely,
reason
yeah.
people gatekeep is to protect their sort of tie to their identity of like I'm an engineer, I'm this, like no super prominent, you know, like respected talented engineer is going around telling people that you're not a real engineer, because they don't give a shit.
So you know what at least in chemistry, I remember I talked to somebody and we had the same conversation about like what makes you a real chemist. I forget who this was, and their answer was like, I think in their mind, like, to call myself a chemist, I am employed and being paid for chemistry services. Like, that is my job. I provide chemistry services, and that's what I'm paid for, and that's all I do, so I'm a chemist. It's like, that's the only stipulation that, like, he just thought you needed. So it's like, if you got hired to build something, it's like, by trade, you're an engineer. Like, to do what an engineer would do. You don't need, like, qualifications or anything. Probably should have some. But it's just like, at the end of the day, if you do the job and you provide that service and you're capable of doing it, like, what differentiates you from somebody who has, you know, more formal qualifications?
A piece of paper.
Yeah, if your skills are there, they're there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, I think the only time you're allowed to tell somebody they're not a real engineer is if they're proclaiming that they are a real engineer, because no real engineer proclaims that they're a real engineer. I think if anything, a real engineer is always skeptical of their ability to engineer.
I think it's
They're like so deep in the Dunning-Kruger
Yeah.
like valley
I
that
I agree though. It's the fact that it's kind of like the people, all those videos like stolen valor. It's like if you're trying to present yourself as something that you're clearly not, then that's a problem.
Right.
But it's like, I mean, it's just like so.
like the fact that I still don't I don't want to say I don't consider myself an engineer, but like I don't consider myself like a corporate engineer or like a traditional engineer. But it's like I have a degree, I have a minor in electrical engineering where I focused on like microprocessors and stuff like that. I could probably do a better job, engineering some like fundamental stuff than a lot of actual engineers.
But-
and at the end of the day, like I think that qualifies me like as an engineer. Like I'm not the greatest engineer, and if you stuck me in an office, I probably I'd be like a house plant that needs a lot of light. I would just die. But if you gave me like the right job to do, like I would kill it. If you gave me the wrong job to do, I would be a horrible engineer.
The thing that you just
no, I think that you're better than most real
'Cause you're
engineers
adaptable.
because you've like solved
Yeah.
the problem of like the decision paralysis. I think like independently.
I just want to say one thing.
I don't know.
I think what you just kind of said is the core of the problem. Sort of what Will said is that you said if I was a corporate engineer, it's the thing I've complained
Yeah.
about just science in general is that like science started as just a study of the world. To be fair, it was just listen. It was
Right.
done by rich people who just had nothing better to do and to flex on their friends. But once it became a money making thing, it's like you end up having these tracks you go down, and it's like now to be an engineer, you need to work at like a real engineer. You need to work
Are you
as.
really an engineer though if you don't hate your job?
But it's like you have to work at a company. You have to like.
Are
It's
you
all
really a
like.
chemist if you don't, think about like driving off the side of the road every day on your way to work?
But no, like these jobs, especially in the science realm, have all been just like kind of. They only exist truly in money making endeavors. So the moment YouTube and other stuff came out, where it's like you're not directly profiteering off of engineering, you're profiteering off of
Right.
video. That's how you make your money. That people are like, oh, you're not a real engineer, and the only difference is that you're not getting paid directly for your engineering services.
Right.
Like that. At the end of the day, that's the only difference. It's
You're
like a
a real
technicality.
engineer when you know that the barricade will stop your car from falling off the bridge when you veer off the road.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like I would describe it as like a real engineer is not doing math so they can make their part better. A real engineer is doing math so they can be like, nah, we shouldn't even make the part at all. Or finding a way to sort of avoid processes or make things cheaper or make things more efficient. It's not just like I'm going to make this little bracket right here and I'm going to like analyze every aspect of it to make sure it's as little material as possible with this. It's like, no, like I need to make a bracket to hold up a shelf. It needs to hold 25 pounds. We're cutting this 1/8 inch piece of aluminum. There's no way it doesn't hold 25 pounds because my intuition knows it's way stronger than that. And so the engineering decision is to just draw the triangle gusset.
yeah.
No math, no nothing, just making the stupid triangle and don't even think twice about it. Like to me, that's engineering. It's not like I have properly analyzed this thing. It's like, nope, I'm going to water jet it and it's easy and cheap and I'm not going to think about it. Boom, out the door.
I would just say that I think that there's just varying levels at the.
Right.
I mean, I think it's
you get to a point where you need to do that analysis. But I think people sort of assume that everything is like that. It's like if you're engineering it, you're doing everything.
But I
perfect.
think there's actually a parallel in like the art world. For example, if you were to be like, for example, you're a music artist. A lot of people, until you make a living off of it, they're always just like, oh, but what are you actually doing? Like you're not like a real whatever until you're successful. And I don't know. I feel like there's just that type of stuff goes on where in reality, if you decide that your art is just you throw some paint on a piece of paper once a week and it takes you 5 minutes, you can call yourself an artist. Like it doesn't have to be high effort, but it's like people will be like, oh, it's low effort and no one cares about it. So it's like, but why does that even matter?
Right.
So it's just people just have these arbitrary thresholds. So I think like you making a shelf and just kind of like making it just functional, that is engineering, but it is also engineering when you go into the nitty gritty and optimize. It's just another
exactly
part
it's just
of it.
you are in a process that requires more actual engineering effort to achieve your goal.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Like,
It's just it's higher
engineering
effort.
is determining that you don't need to put effort into it, or determining that you do have to put effort into it, and like, when to analyze and when to solve problems and when to switch materials
Yeah.
and when to this and when to that. And so 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you just get away with, use 6061 aluminum and we water jet it. Yay.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So it's like,
You gotta be proud.
You know,
Know in your soul.
if you're building
you're
like
an
landing
engineer.
gear for an airplane, like, okay, sure, but I don't think I would enjoy a job like that. Like, I know some engineers who work at Apple, and one of them, she worked on the button click profile when you click on the keyboard, like, and this was like a keyboard for the iPad. So when you click on the physical button, there's like 2 clicks. So there's like it's like a click 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 click. It's like
It's like a down
very
and
very
up,
very
yeah, or
like.
something.
Yeah, there's like, you look at it and you realize like, oh my god, like they have a machine that is meant, like, it is specifically designed for just like pressing things, and they will cycle test it like an obscene number of times, and it will measure the the actual sort of force feedback profile. And to me, that's like, the idea of that and getting into it is cool, but like having to do that, building an entire keyboard and going through every single button and being like, oh, the E button is like, for whatever reason, it's like degrading more quickly. And so they have to figure out like, well, what's going on in that area of the keyboard? Like, is there sort of where something was cut out or yada yada that's causing like some different flexure that's changing the profile for the negative? And it's just like, that sucks. Like hyper
I mean,
optimization.
I see the same thing as like you get it in a lot of just chemistry. And even now, dude, part of why I'm buying this furnace is I've committed to making neodymium magnets, and it's just like you can look at so many. The details never end. Like the details never end. I was reading like a procedure because it's hard to find good procedures, and then I get to one part and I'm like, no, God, no, I do not want to have to do this, because the guy was like, when your magnet's basically done, you need to paint it with a dysprosium hydride so that you can like. Then you do a heating process so that it diffuses in. And I was like, oh, God, like, I do not want to do any of this. It was like way extra work. So I go back to the beginning. It's a patent. And I read it. And the guy goes, the entire point is I probably said for years on trying to get like good optimization. It's just so that the magnet under certain conditions, when there's like demagnetizing force or fluctuations in temperature, it is more resistant to demagnetization than the standard neodymium.
By 3%.
And I'm like, oh, I just want to make a magnet. Like, this is completely
Right.
So like
irrelevant.
all this extra work is just for like a tiny little trait.
But no, it's extremely important. If you're I mentioned it to my dad, and he's like, yeah, like if you're in a fighter jet and you want to make sure that like your magnetically released latch for your missile undoes, like you're going to buy that magnet because you have to make sure that it just works under all conditions. You can't go, oh, well, we didn't know that it was really hot in the desert that day. So kind of like the
Right.
magnet just didn't work properly.
Slightly underperforming.
And it just didn't, the missile didn't go. And like the entire, like, so like those people where it's like life or death and stuff like that are really, or medical stuff where it's like really necessary, they obsess over those details.
But like that's not necessary for you.
But it's like, I want to make a magnet that just floats on a superconductor, and you're
This
like,
is called-
it just needs to basically work.
This is called the factor of safety.
Yeah.
So like the
Yeah.
principle behind the factor of safety is mathematically, what have you done? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
Like, my system mathematically fits this bill. But I do also know that math is not wrong, but your implementation will never perfectly represent the math. So you then build into the system redundancy by changing the output to double, right? So if you're building an airplane and you want it to be safe, your factor of safety is something above 1. So you say like, well, it's actually horrifying.
Yeah, 1.01.
Because it turns out if you make an airplane with a factor of safety of 2, you're going to pay a bunch of prices elsewhere, because now your airplane is going to be too heavy. It's not going to be able to fly, or it's not going to be able to carry as much cargo and whatnot. So like that's sort of the real engineering process, is like determining, well, how safe does it need to be? How strict are the requirements? And like the closer your factor of safety gets to 1, the more engineering and the more
Yeah.
expensive your process becomes. And so part of the engineering is trying to determine like what does the factor of safety need to be? Like how tight, like if you're making a shelf, you don't give a shit. Like it could be a
There's-
factor of safety of 100 for all you care.
The other thing I was going to say too is because it's like, for example, like I made superconductors, I made some other stuff, and then I always think about this. There's the level of satisfaction of making it that you're like, I made it, it's good enough. But it's like, if I were to want to sell this item, that's like way more development because you now have to
Yeah.
make it a consistent process, so you don't have a lot of loss.
Oh, yeah, that's a
and it
nightmare.
has to
That's like
and it
real
has to
engineering.
look
Like-
good. So you're like,
Yeah.
not only do I have to increase efficiency, I have to make my product better. But you're like, but I already have the product, and that often is like way more work than
Yeah.
even discovering the. Or,
Yeah, it's not even way more work. It is the
Yeah, it
work.
is literally-
It's the work.
It's going from
Like-
one Squid Game controller
Yeah.
to 500
Yes.
of them.
Like, do you know what Tesla is? Like, do you know what the Model 3 car is? It's not a car.
What's a giant phone on wheels?
It's a factory.
I
That's
was
what the
gonna say
Model
that.
3 is. Like every Tesla vehicle it's just the factory. Like that's what's impressive about the whole thing. It's not that they built
Oh,
the
yeah, I
car,
see
it's
what
that
you're
they
saying.
built
Yeah,
the
yeah.
factory.
Yeah, just to actually get it
Like-
all together. I was thinking the car
Right.
is a
They
factory. I was
didn't
like, what are you
no,
talking about?
They didn't design a car.
No.
They designed a factory.
And that's like what I always think is interesting about, like you hear about this in chemistry, especially, where somebody will make a discovery. For example, even like when penicillin was discovered, they go, "Great, we have this antibiotic. It can, save people's lives." Okay, you have 100 milligrams. At the beginning, it was so scarce. They were like collecting people's pee to refine it because it's like,
Nice.
it just
We don't have time to refine it. You're just gonna have to drink the pee.
well, they were just you had to just grow mold, and there's like nothing in it. Like the production was so low until someone synthesized it, and then it's just like, okay, great, you made it in a lab. Well, how do we make kilos of it? So it's like just because you have one way to do it, it's like
Yeah.
how do you now make it on the mass scale?
Bring it up.
And
Yeah.
it's a whole different realm of problems
Yep.
that you don't even experience on the small. I mean, that's chemical
Yep.
engineering, right? How do a lot of it's
Yeah,
like how
no,
to
it's
scale.
making 0.1 grams of nitroglycerin versus a kilogram of nitroglycerin.
Well, and like speaking about nitroglycerin, that's the classic thing. You go, oh, I can do it in a beaker with like in an ice bath, but like the distance between the center of the beaker and the ice on the wall is, let's say, like a centimeter. So you have great heat dissipation. But what happens if your vat's like 20 feet wide? You just blow up because it gets so hot in the center.
Yep. It's like what's that? The volume, the square
Yeah,
cube
like
law
your-
or whatever. Like the bigger bigger an animal is, like
Well, your volume
the-
increases cubically, but your surface goes up by square.
Right.
So your heat.
So you like
You can't just.
double the size is quadruple the volume.
Yeah, you can't just cool it on the outside anymore. You have to come up with like a
Yeah.
whole other cooling and mixing system.
Right, but then the mixing probably introduces a new problem. Yeah.
It's just like it
Yeah.
just starts to become like, and then when you pump it through tubes, it's just like the stuff on classic fluid dynamic problems where
Yeah.
it's like things are sometimes don't mix proper. I don't know. There's like so many other problems.
People just don't like the general public does not appreciate the effort that goes into that stuff, and it drives me nuts seeing like people shit talking everything and anything and everything, like completely discrediting anyone's contributions. Like yeah, I guess it sort of started with Elon. It's like give him shit for the dumb shit he does. But why are people going after like he's not even a real engineer? He didn't invent the car. He didn't. It's like
it shows
what?
that people like I think one
they don't understand how
but I
anything
think
works.
one big example was because I did pharmacology, so I'm not going to like back up the pharmaceutical companies and claim they're great, but it's like the classic short-sighted thing, and actually people do it with products all the time, where they're like, hey, this product I see costs $50 to make, and they're selling it for 200 in stores. I'm being ripped off by 150, and you're like, what? So even with like drugs, they'll be like, that pill costs them 1 cent to make, but they're charging $1 a pill, and you're like, yeah, but it costs them $1.8 billion to develop that pill. If they charged 2 pennies, they would literally never make their money back in like 1,000 years. And patents only last like 10 or 15 years or something. So it's like, I'm not justifying that they upcharge everything. And some of them are absorbently expensive, but it's like you can't look at the price literally stock amount of and they have to build the factory to make the pill.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to do that. Like, I know that's the reason for a lot of things, but like, I can't help
You also
it.
know that you can put your hand into the conveyor belt and pull out pills and they wouldn't even know.
Oh, no.
But it's even just like there's just overhead. Like my friend worked as quality control at a pharmaceutical company. It's like there's so much overhead that it's like all these pills have to be tested for safety. It's like you have to pay that guy's salary. They're running like operations to make sure all their quality is good. Then they have to ship it. There's all these logistics. It's like you can't just look at just the price of the pill and go, it was 1 cent.
Then you're paying.
I'll pay
for
for
the
2
pharmacist
cents.
as
I'll pay
well.
for 2 cents. Okay, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. Again, I'm not.
Right.
They do price gouge and like the price of insulin, especially in the
No,
US,
I don't.
is
I think everyone's
insane.
going to understand what you're
But-
saying. I mean, but that's the whole point of the government is to sort of intervene with stuff like this. Like you need to have
Yeah.
like people need to be motivated to innovate, and so you need them to be able to like whatever does motivate them, which a lot of times is like a large reward of like risking effort to like making that money back. But obviously at the same time, you don't want people not being able to buy insulin when they die.
There's also the other
well, maybe you do want
the
that.
other pharmaceutical
Do either of
thing
you want
that they
that?
don't realize. Just because, like I said, I did pharmacology. Is I don't know what percentage of drugs that go to
market at?
trial fail. It's like the majority of them, and it's
Yeah.
like you can literally look at the costs of how much it costs to get through.
Every drug passes my test.
But they're like, it's a huge number.
Send your drugs.
The
to me.
majority fail to get past like even the first phase, but it costs like $50 million to even get there. So if you add up all that cost, it's like for every successful drug, you have to charge a lot disproportionately to make up the development costs. Otherwise, why would you even do it?
Survivor bias.
But again, they gouge, so I don't. You have to have some regulation to prevent that. Because why not charge
Yeah.
$1,000 a pill?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, come on.
I would. I need that $1,000 to build a saltwater aquarium. Who doesn't want Who doesn't need a saltwater aquarium? You need
I
one.
don't want one though.
I'm gonna be the My Pillow guy. That's what I'm gonna grow up to be, like the My Pillow guy. Except I'm the My Aquarium guy. My
I'm going to go
saltwater
have dinner
aquarium.
now. I haven't
Kevin's like,
eaten
with
Okay.
that being said, I'm done.
We die.
He was thinking
All
of the
right.
fish in the aquarium.
See you guys next time. I think next time we do some more Patreon questions. I feel like I forgot about that. It's not dead. It's just I forgot to feed it.
Yeah.
It's dying.
Like
but
your little
I think
weed plant
I believe
Tamagotchi
it.
tree.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
See you guys.
bye.
See ya.